great to have you on our daily call for Worldwide Dream Team. And as Coach was just mentioning, it's 8 days until the end of the month, right? Next Wednesday is the end of the month. And, years ago, when I first got involved in this great industry of network marketing, they always ran by a month period. And so, so a calendar month. So we used to always fight to close out the end of the month and make it a strong ending. And we have the same spirit here, by the way. And you hear it from Andrew and from Michael Renz. So it's the same kind of picture here. We got 8 days to close out.
Hold on a second,
sometimes people in general, they tend. Yep.
Hold on just a second. We've got somebody on that's got their mic open. I don't know who that might be. So go ahead, brother.
So, hey, thank you for that. And so, the idea of closing the month out strong is important. Most people are interesting, right? Like when you go to college and you're assigned, you're given your syllabus and hey, I got to have these papers done by a certain date. Let's say the paper's due on November 30th, right? When do most people do the paper? They do it on the 29th, right? That's what people do. So there's something psychological about pushing for a strong end of the month close. And I've got to push for myself. I've got to push for it. And I want to encourage all of you, push for your next rank, right? Promotions drive production. That's a good theme. Promotions drive production. What's your next promotion? Silver, gold, platinum, diamond, whatever your next rank is, in your pressing to create that, guess what? You're driving production. And it's an important thing, right? Because ultimately production determines your income, right? The volume of business produces your income. And so the driving, the setting the mindset, hey, I'm gonna finish the month up strong. I'm gonna reach my next rank or beyond. It's possible, you could be right now at a silver and you could go to platinum in 8 days. And it really is a function of just numbers, of exposing to more people. And you have to find your rhythm in running through numbers. But hey, let's close the month out strong. Promotions drive production. That's a good thought for the day, by the way. And write that down and keep that in front of you, because you go on here, you're going to be building a team. You're going to be developing a team. Once again, this is a recruiting and building business, not just recruiting, though recruiting is critical. It's the front piece, right? It's the trigger that gets everything going. It's the catalyst, recruiting. But when they come in, now we have to direct them. Now we have to help them to get into the mode of duplicating a simple little 3-step system consistently and persistently. And we do this, we win. So that's what I'll share as we're opening up this call today, Coach.
Well, great. Natalie, nice to see you on the webinar this morning. I know you have to get up bright and early out of Fresno. Welcome, a brand new addition to our team. She and Felipe signed up just 2 days ago, and we're proud to have you. Jeff Wayne, good to see your mug on here. Good looking dude. Hey, listen, I think we ought to hear from our brand new Platinum. I'm so proud of him. He battled for it. And sometimes things seem to just be right out of grasp, right? Some of you, you're working on something, you set a goal, and it seems like you're running up a hill that's made out of slippery mud, right? Anybody ever feel like that? It's like you're running up a hill in sand, and you just can't seem to. But trust me, over time, I can look back over a lot of years now. I've been a goal setter for a long time, formerly an athlete in college and then in business. And, you got to take 2 steps forward, sometimes a step or 2 back. In fact, sometimes you'll take 4 steps forward and you'll take 5 steps back. But it's okay if you keep on getting up and you're getting direction and guidance from the right people. Listen, one of the biggest problems people have, even the Bible says that the blind lead the blind and everybody ends up falling into a ditch. I've never seen a business, literally, I've never seen a business where more blind people were putting themselves out there as professional trainers, Mark. these MLM gurus are out
Yeah.
there, right? They're consultants and gurus. And then you ask them, well, what team did you build? And you go do a little research, you find out they had a team of 11 people, and most of them were asleep in some kind of a coma. And yet they became an online marketing guru. And I can tell you this, that Andrew and Nancy Burling, they are not empty suits. They've built significant teams, as is Mike Dew and his beautiful wife, Barbara. Mike, hitting platinum is a big deal. 12 personally sponsored ISRs. You came in, and I'm very thankful you approached me. I came in with you, and of course, everybody on this webinar is a part of that growth that we're having together. But take a moment out and just greet everybody. We want to recognize you.
Well, good morning. Appreciate that, Coach. And yeah, I'm very happy to hit platinum. And following in your footsteps, I think you hit it in 4 hours or something like that. So it takes some of us a little bit longer, but no, it's a great milestone, but it's one that everyone can do. And then you look beyond that and look at Michael Renz, who is all of our members upline, and boy, that guy grounded out to hit diamond in this first month. So you really got to congratulate someone like that. And Coach, I know you're right on his heels, but moving beyond that, I am happy, and I hope everybody was on the call last night. It was a great call. We learned some things, but I learned something this morning already. I learned why the Dream Team Daily is important, because every day we show up, we can pick up a new nugget. And I just picked up one, promotions drive production. And I hadn't really heard that term before. Mark just used it, and it's so true. And Coach, I know you do as well. So every day we show up, if we kind of pick a topic, we're all going to pick up a nugget or two. And I think that 20 minutes daily will drive us all to the top. I really do believe that. So welcome everybody. Let's grow this, and let's be here to support each other every day and every week beyond. Welcome.
Mike, I'd like you to take a moment out and let people get to know just a little bit about you. We're recording this, so this will be on the website, and people later can go and just tell us a little bit about yourself and Barb, and your background. Take 2 or 3 minutes and go through that.
Well, sure. Just a little bit. I come from a traditional business background. I grew up in a family business that existed for 35 years in the trucking industry. So you can also see why I'd be interested in the new mega caps we're going to have coming for the trucking industry. But 35 years in that industry, and then I moved into mortgage banking and some other traditional venues until I discovered network marketing in 1995. And I had some great mentors, and I never really rose to the top of a program, but I sure learned a lot along the way and met some great friends. And then until the day that I met Mark and at a mortgage meeting, and which led me to meet you. And we've certainly developed a good friendship over the past almost 20 years. But I continued on and ended up meeting Michael Renz also. And he introduced me to a couple different companies until Barb and I joined him in Valentis, and that's where I met the Burlings and Michael. And he was a great mentor. He taught me a lot about online marketing, which I now know and which we'll share with the whole group as we go forward. But we became diamonds. Barb and I became diamonds in that company, and the company had a problem. We didn't have a problem. There was a product problem, which kind of tore the whole thing apart. So not making excuses, but we moved on for that company because it was kind of dying on the vine. But Michael approached us about MPG Extreme, and he said, we've got something everybody's going to want, everybody needs. It's going to be a giant in the industry. You were my first diamond, and I want you to be almost, I'm not the first person he sponsored, but I'm almost the first person that he sponsored. And he said, I'm gonna help you get the diamond here too. And I know that he will. And that led me to contacting Coach and Mark and some other people. And we've got a fantastic team growing here. Whoever's watching, well, you are in the right place at the right time. I truly, truly believe that. And I know Barb's not Zoom ready probably, but I know she feels that way. Do you want to say anything, Barb, behind the scenes? she's saying no. So anyway, onward and upward. That's the term I always use, and a little bit of background, but back to you.
That's fantastic. I like the way Barbara just withholds herself from us. That's like the ultimate takeaway, the woman's prerogative. So Barb, we know you're over there off screen, and we're very proud of both of you. And we're thankful to be a part of your team. Listen, let's take a few moments. If you want to grab your pen, I'm going to run through a couple of bullet points. And as I go through them, I'm going to ask maybe Mark or Mike to comment. One of the things that I can tell you that I did get from Mark Campese, and that was you got to show up to grow up. And one of the really important, and the other deal, I'd say get a pen or a pad. Mark, what was that line? Note takers are money makers.
Money
right?
makers.
Yeah, money makers. So the first thing is I'm going to tell you is the foundation of your success will be the foundation of your personal life. I'm a believer in the biblical God, Elohim, and so one of the success books that I believe in thoroughly is the Bible. And I find that when I read other success books, personal growth and development books, that everything I read in them, I find that they all plagiarized and took them from the great book of wisdom, the Bible. And so a lot of times people say, well, you're reading that book, it's new age. And the truth is success principles are actually ancient age. They never go out of style. And it's kind of like love. Love never goes out of style, right? But I want to just say that leaders are readers and readers are leaders. We will be off of this call at 9:20 Pacific time. So you want to think quickly, write quickly, and cover the notes. But I want to recommend this particular book. I'm going to recommend two books. This one, if you can see it, is called, well, maybe you can't see it. I can, whatever. It's The Magic of Thinking Big. Maybe there it is. I don't know.
A little better.
The Magic of Thinking Big. There it is. The author is Dr. David Schwartz. It's an old book. And I will tell you that when I say this is not an old book, I just bought a new one. I gave the other one away, but a life-changing book. The other book that I will get, and we are going to be posting it on the website in an audio book, is called Your First Year in Network Marketing. It's by Mark Yarnell. And make no bones about it, the principles that are in these older books are absolutely proven and irrefutable. A lot of people don't want to grow themselves, but the foundation of a building will determine the stability of a building. If you build on sand, it's going to fall off the side of the hill. If you build on a solid rock-based foundation, you're going to have a building that stands for a long time. So don't sidestep that idea, and write notes on the books that you read and discuss them with your teammates and get them reading. The other thing, and I'll jump into that real quick, and that is promotion. We have an event coming up. It's in October, and it's in Minnesota, Minneapolis area. It's going to be a tour of the home office, and it will be the first major event ever in the company's history. I'm going to just tell you, you need to be there. If you're going to build this business, you need to find a way and make a commitment to be there. It's October 29th and 30th. October 28th will be a flying day, traveling day for most of us. And then the event is the 29th and 30th. They do have a diamond dinner. And I know one thing, I'm going to be scrapping like a cat to qualify for that. I know Mike will do, and Mark Campese and Jeff and the rest of you will. But and then they will have a great breakout. They'll be taking us over to the plant, to the facility, the 18,000 square foot distribution facility, to go on a tour. Something very dynamic will happen for you when you go to this event. It'll become extremely real for you. When you go there, you see the plant, you get to meet Andrew and Nancy and the leadership and Michael Renz. Something will shift inside of you, and the business will become significantly more tangible to you. And Mark, how have the events affected you in your journey?
Listen, they're just an integral part to success. Quite frankly, everything in your business revolves around that.
Everything revolves around it. And what do you see happening to the people that go to events and the growth that they experience in the next
Here-
90 days after
Yeah.
being at an event?
Here's my experience, 30 plus years going to events, is that it will accelerate your business 6 months. One weekend there will accelerate your business 6 months, and on every level. And it starts with you, right? The momentum in your business, the success, everything starts with you. So you're going to be accelerated from within. So it's always a key and critical experience to go to events. You know, as I said, I taught on Saturday, plug in to win.
Plug in to win. Another Markism. I like it. Not to be, okay. So I'm going to give you 5 points. I'm not going to teach on them today. Time won't allow it. But if you want to get the teaching, come back tomorrow. Also, I'm going to be talking to William Wallace and Rebecca Wilhelminum about coming on and sharing their platinum journey. It's exciting. We got 3 platinums here, myself, Mike, and William Wallace, otherwise known as Braveheart, and Rebecca. So it's really 4 platinums. And so hey, come back tomorrow, and we're going to have a guest on here to be doing some teaching in addition to myself and others. I want to give you 5 points, and I want you to remember that the fortune in your business will be in the follow-up. And just always remember that. It's in the follow-up. It's not in the approach. But if you never start the journey, they say the journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step, right? If you never begin the journey, there is no follow-up. So the first step is the approach. The approach is where you contact somebody. Tomorrow, what we're going to do is we're going to go through some approach lines, cover some approach methods, give you some practical things to say to people. I'll give you 2 right now. When I meet people, I was in the gas station yesterday. I saw a guy pull in with a pickup truck, and kind of a handsome young guy in his 30s. And he was out there at the pump pulling out the nozzle. And I said, hey, do me a favor. Now I'm on the other side of the pump, right? I said, do me a favor. How much is that gas on your side of the pump? How much is that premium gas on your side of the pump? And he told me, and I said, oh my God, it's just as expensive there as it is over here. I said, are you getting as sick about these gas prices as I am? He said, well, I'm not going to tell you what he said. It wouldn't be suitable on a family show. But I said, listen, I've got a friend of mine that made a product many, many years ago for the transportation industry, trucking industry. And I'm getting my hands on some. It saves 10, 15% or more on gas and diesel. Would you be interested? He goes, oh man, of course I would. I said, give me your number. I'll text you a 7-minute video. It'll tell you all about it. And that was my approach. He gave me his number and I left. One thing I will tell you is that I do not get into a lot of chit chat. I don't get into a lot of discussion. You start getting into Q&A, it goes downhill. People always think if I give them more information, it's better. Curiosity is attractive. More information is not typically. So I gave him the video. Now, the second thing is you want to share. Share what? Share the video. I did that all at one time. I did the approach and I shared the video. When I got back in the car, I did this 4 times yesterday. I met someone, I talked to him, and when I got away from him, I immediately texted him. It was nice talking to you. Here's the video that will show you how to save big time on your fuel. That was it. And I put the short link for the video on there. So that video is the one that's called the product overview. It's on our YouTube channel. Just go online to dreamteamchannel.com, find the product overview video, click the share button, get the short link and send it out. You don't need to editorialize it. Just say, here's the video that will show you how to save big time on your gas or diesel. That's enough to get their attention. The more you talk, the less of a chance you're going to win. The third thing, and I'm going to wrap it up with these next 2 points, is the follow-up. After you share the video, my suggestion on the follow-up, Mark and others may have a different approach. Mine is that you don't call them back, you text them. The reason I like to text is that you don't have them trapping you into a question and answer. If you text them, you can just say, hey, I just wanted to check, see, did you watch the video and did you want to learn more information? If they say yes, In fact, if they say no, you're done. If they say no, they're done. And my suggestion is pray for them. Okay. If they say anything but no, say fantastic, set up a time for a 15-minute call. Just set up a time. Don't set up a time in 2 or 3 minutes. Set up a time later in the day or the next day, but within 24 hours. And then you got the time set up, call your upline and say, I've got someone that's interested. Do not do that call on your own ever, ever. I'll talk about that more tomorrow. The next thing after the follow-up is a startup. When I do a follow-up, I do a 3-way phone call. So if I've got a new person like Natalie, she follows up with the text, she sets up the time, she calls me, or Felipe calls me, and they set me up on the call. By the way, I do 3-way calls with Mark. I sponsored Mark, thank God. But Mark, I have Mark do 3-ways with me. Why? Because he is really good. The other thing is that you probably all know that I could do my own calls on my own, right? I could talk about it. I can do it. I can close them. I don't. Why don't I? Because I want the prospect to realize that they don't need to know anything to build this business. They don't need to know anything. All they need to know is how to share a video and get the person on a call. When a new person realizes they can make $1,000 a week by just sharing a video and getting someone on a call, oh my God, you got the keys to the bank. Lastly, the startup is doing the sign up, the registration, and the getting started interview. We're going to teach on the getting started interview in a couple of days. Mark is going to be out of pocket for a couple of days. He's got an important family event. When he gets back, I'm going to actually have him do a getting started training. He's got a great video on the YouTube channel at DreamTeam channel on getting started, but we're talking about specifically something called a getting started interview. It's going to be very powerful. That'll be helpful. And then lastly is to duplicate. And with that, I'll wrap it up. To duplicate means to get your person to start getting their contacts, whether it's warm market, cold market, online marketing, Craigslist ads, whatever it is, all you want is a set of ears and eyeballs to watch the video and come to a call, a follow-up call. So the duplicate is you bring a new person in. Here is the indicator. I'm gonna have Natalie comment on this and we'll wrap up the call. Natalie?
Yeah.
When you guys came in, you saw my Facebook post and didn't say anything. You reached out to me and said, hey, what do you got going on? I sent you the video, correct?
Yeah, that was, pretty simple.
Did I call and talk to you all about it? Or did I send you the video?
No, it was really good bait. It was very laid back.
I was fishing. I threw the line out. And then we got on the phone and we talked. And then I got you guys introduced some people. But the real question is, when you said, what do we need to do next? What did I tell you to do? Did I tell you to share the video and get them on a call with me?
I don't remember.
When we talked last night and I said, what you need to do is
Oh yeah.
share the video.
Give them the video.
And you said, if I have someone interested, what should I do?
3-way call.
3-way call. Listen,
Yep.
folks, it works 100% of the time. Thank you for being on and putting up with me for going 3 minutes over. It's better than my normal 30 minutes over. And so look at Jeff Wayne. I love you, Jeff. You're my brother. Anyway, tomorrow we're going to follow up on this, some more approach lines, how to effectively do a 3-way phone call. When Mark gets back, we'll do it. And next week, we're going to do a training on online marketing, how to generate leads out of Craigslist and some of the other things. Well, Mike will do that. In the meantime, each and every one of you, work hard, make things happen, and we'll see you tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 noon. This webinar is officially over.